My name is Hette Veenstra. I'm the head IT and privacy officer for NoorderBasis. NoorderBasis is a group of 33 schools in the northern part of the Netherlands. We have around 640 staff members, around 4,000 students, and we teach them in the age of JK up to grade 6. Together with my colleague, we both maintain the whole IT environment when we're looking at Microsoft products, Apple products and Google products like Chromebooks. So why we wanted to move from on-premise to cloud, we had in the past I have seen a working solution at another school board, and I was really fond by the idea of getting away from all the servers and away from all the networking that comes with it, and also the patching and the updates, and we wanted to see if we could also get something like that. So when we looked into the M365 solutions from Microsoft, we actually right away said that would be a perfect one, because if you look at updates and new features, this is already incorporated in the cloud solution for Microsoft. So that was also one of our key features we wanted to see in our printing solution. We have in our organization, we have 40 printers. And when we went from on-premise, like with servers and clients, to the cloud, and this was in 2021, we also had to look into, okay, is there a solution to do also cloud printing? Because we would step away from the on-premise solution and could go to the cloud. The thing is, the big brands will have and already made their own solution. But here in Europe, every so many years, we have to ask new quotes for example, copiers. So if you then tied into a brand a solution, and someone else has a better quote than the current brand you have already an issue. So you rather see, or you rather work with a software solution that is non-brand attached whatsoever, that can work with all the, well, at least the bigger brands that are out there in the world. And then from there, it is a safe step forward also in maintaining and getting everything in place, because an end user doesn't understand when you go from one brand to the other that all of a sudden they have new software in place and oh, now we have to use a different solution. At that point, our external IT partner said you should look into PaperCut, actually together with the printer company back then, and they said look at PaperCut because that is like a non-brand solution, so you can, if you go from one printer brand to the next one, you can still use the PaperCut solution. And from day one we right away said that's what we need. We need a solution that is not tied into this brand, but is always possible to hop from one to the other without setting up everything again. We needed a good cloud printing solution, and back in 2021 the world when it comes to cloud printing was a little, still a little bit in the beginning. So when they came up with the print solution from PaperCut, we found out really quick that, well, for example, we were the first in the Netherlands with this solution. And from day one I said, you know what, we're going to cope together with our reseller, in this case ITS, we're going to cope with them and see if we can get this into a good working solution. It took commitment from us, of course, as well, since we're only doing this whole IT environment with the two of us. But I think from day one there was always a good cooperation between ITS as a reseller and between us as an IT department. So I think that worked out in the end quite well. If we look at support and support on the copiers as well as PaperCut, since we have everything in Intune, when it comes to the software, the support is minimum on that, because as soon as PaperCut has been installed with a version that we applied in Intune, it will self-update itself, right? And when we look at the copiers, well, we can all devices we can do remotely. We have a SuperNode installed on each site, like on each school site. That is always like remote accessible for us. from the head office, and from there we can just apply the changes and updates what we need. We hardly hear nowadays any complaints. It is more like, okay, we have to maintain the whole system, and together with ITS sometimes we have to look into issues. But I must say people even enjoy it, that they can already like set print jobs ready at home even, so they can already prepare their work, prepare the teaching lessons. I have already like print jobs already being queued for getting released at school. So the next day they come at school and they type in their code, or they use their app and scan the QR code that we have like stickered on top of the copier, and then everything's in place. See, our staff members, at the end of the day, they work with students, they work with people, so this is always a secondary process for them, right? So as long as we don't hear them complain, we say everything is fine. I've been already talking to some school boards in the past also about our experience with cloud printing solutions, and for example, as I also mentioned, like, okay, you should also look into PaperCut as one of the possible results for your issue you're having with a good cloud printing solution. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, now we have a solution that is at least not tied to one brand. We can indeed go from one brand to the other, a copier brand, without setting up PaperCut for the end user completely new again. PaperCut might be then one of the cloud printing solutions that is really looking into that issue and having it resolved. If I summarize the cooperation with ITS and PaperCut overall, I would say it's been going well. This whole environment that we now created with M365 and PaperCut is an environment that we say like, okay, that's what we can work with. I think PaperCut is listening to their end users and also trying to also work with us. We hardly see any hiccups in the software itself. It is normal behavior, and when it comes to the cloud printing solution, I think that's a good thing we have now in place, like it's working normally.